Hello, I'm Sal Maccarone, woodwork designer craftsman from Port Townsend, Washington. I've owned and operated my own furniture and sculpture studio for the past 25 years. I'm also the author of this book, Tune Up Your Tools. They brought me in today to talk to you a little bit about custom and one-of-a-kind pieces of furniture. I really have had the wonderful privilege in my career of serving clients all over the world. Would you like to see a little of my work? Beginning with entryway doors, because they are a favorite subject of mine, always the opening statement, if you will. This piece was done in 1989 for a beautiful 7,000 square foot home in Mammoth Lakes, California. It is made of Honduras mahogany and features a Yosemite wilderness carving. The hourglass-shaped handles are made of the same material, and the doors have electric concealed locks, so none of the hardware shows from the outside. Here you'll see a much more symmetrical carving in this plank-style door set, which features a carved grape and vine motif. The pair was done in V-grain fir, then distressed to add an aged look. I figure about 125 years worth. This single door with side-light combination, built for a chateau in the Rocky Mountains in 1992, was also done in mahogany. This is a simple frame and panel construction and features clear beveled glass. Now here are a few of my favorite bars that I've made. This piece is titled In the Spirit of Tenaya and is featured in the Marriott Tenaya Lodge near Yosemite National Park. I used a variety of woods on this piece, but the primary wood is obviously quarter sawn red oak. There are also secondary accents of both walnut and padauk. The four-sculptured Indian chief took me as long to make as the bar itself. The entire project took 6 months and was made to break down into 20 sections for transportation and installation. Well, here's a much smaller private bar, also done with a combination of hardwoods. I call this style country elegant. The quail design on the upper doors were etched in by sandblasting, and the sink is made of hammered gold. Boy, that's a lot of hours in the shop, wouldn't you say? Now, can I answer any questions about the work itself?
I know you probably tried every tool on the market, but what brand do you really prefer to use?
Boy, you're not the first to ask me that question. I'd have to say that Makita brand is my favorite. They make a wonderful line of professional tools, and they keep coming up with better and better ideas all the time. Are there any other questions?
What tool do you prefer when doing the majority of your miter cuts?
Well, nowadays, I use the new Makita LS1013 compound miter saw. This saw is easy to handle, has multiple capabilities, and is a very precise tool at the same time. Well, that concludes the seminar, and thank you very much for attending. If any of you'd like to come by the shop later, I'd sure like to show you around, so feel free.
Thank you very much.
Hi. Hey, thanks for coming in the shop with me today. You know, they always ask me in class what my favorite brand of tools are. I've got to say Makita. Did I show you that new LS1013 I got? Wait until you see this. First of all, since it's smaller and lighter than a 12-inch saw, it's a lot easier to move around the job site. A simple pull of this little pin unlocks the head. Check out the dust extraction system. It's located right here in the back of the saw. You can attach their dust bag, or for bigger jobs and more capacity, the shop vac. Now let me move to the other side of the saw and show you what it can really do. First of all, this button here, this can prevent a lot of accidents. Watch what happens when I try to turn the saw on without first pushing down on the button. Some other safety features Makita has incorporated include the soft start, blade brake, and automatic guard. The swivel fence is convenient when cutting larger pieces. All of the lockdowns are located right here in the front. Move the saw to 90 degrees or wherever you like. The built-in stock clamp is easily adjustable to all materials. Here's the dual rail carriage release. Now we're going to do a standard crosscut on a piece of 2x6 material. Note the efficient blade brake and retracting guard. This time the same standard crosscut, but on a piece of 12-quarter material. Who needs a 12-inch saw? Just to show this saw's range, I'm cutting a delicate rope molding. Now a standard miter cut on a 10-inch wide board. The bevel position lockdown is located in the back, and there is an easy-to-read scale. Now a standard bevel cut on a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. Now the fun begins with this compound miter cut on a 2x4. Note the perfectly aligned miter on the square stock. Since this saw bevels both right and left, it is now possible for perfectly aligned miters on all kinds of crowns. Some of the things I really like about the LS1013 and why it performs more than 90% of my operations are: it has easy lockdowns, miters both right and left, bevels right and left, has a 12-inch throw, a 4-inch depth of cut, performs cross-cut dados, and is easy to handle. Fundamentally, this saw has everything. Beginning with the ease at which it can be handled, it is packed full of more features than most 12-inch saws. The smooth dual shaft sliding mechanism allow me to cut thick material right on down to the smallest of trim, always with the finest cut. The 450 millimeter turntable allows maximum stability. The fact that the saw can turn both right and left ensures perfectly aligned miters every time. It has convenient lockdowns for simple adjustments, and the scales are easy to read. It even has a depth stop for producing cross-cut dados. All in all, I'd have to say this saw is a great value. I know that the furniture and sculpture business requires a whole lot of versatility and accuracy at the same time. This 10-inch Makita saw serves me for at least 90% of the functions I perform, and believe me, I perform a lot. You've seen me cut everything from this 12-quarter piece of material on down to this tiny piece of rope molding and everything in between. I highly recommend anybody involved in woodworking, be it a framer or finished carpenter, should consider owning one of these saws.